I have a list of experts here joining us today to talk about this issue. To my immediate right is Dr. Dean Taylor, our state veterinarian. Beside him is Cindy Burnett, an epidemiologist with the Utah Department of Health. And then we have Commissioner Logan Wild from the Utah Department of Agriculture and Food. And then finally, we have Clayton Beckstead, a regional manager from the Farm Bureau. I'll now turn the time over to Dr. Dean Taylor, our state veterinarian, who will be reading a statement on this issue.
Good afternoon, and thank you for being here. Today, the United States Department of Agriculture's National Veterinary Service Laboratory announced 2 confirmed cases of SARS-CoV-2 in mink in the United States. SARS-CoV-2 is a virus that has been linked to causing COVID-19 in humans. While the virus has previously been detected in other species of mammals within the U.S., this is the first confirmed case in mink. The mink that tested positive for the virus were located at 2 separate farms in Utah. Being that these cases occurred within our state, the Utah Department of Agriculture and Food is working diligently with other organizations such as the Utah Department of Health, the Governor's Office, and the CDC to address these issues today and moving forward. The Utah Veterinary Diagnostic Lab completed necropsies on several animals at the 2 mink farms in Utah last week after the mink operations reported unusually high mortality rates in their mink populations. Based on concerns at the Utah Veterinary Diagnostic Lab that arose from the necropsies, samples were sent to the Washington Animal Disease Diagnostic Laboratory at Washington State University. There, a presumptive diagnosis of SARS-CoV-2 was reached, and from there the samples were sent to the National Veterinary Service laboratories for confirmational testing. This resulted in today's confirmation of SARS-CoV-2 in mink within the United States. The affected farms have reported positive cases of COVID-19 in members of their staff. However, there currently remains no conclusive evidence that animals, including mink, play a significant role in transmitting the virus to humans. As it now stands, due to limited information and research, the risk of animals spreading SARS-CoV-2 to humans is still considered low. Research continues in an effort to gain a comprehensive understanding of how different species may contract and transmit the virus. Earlier this year, SARS-CoV-2 was detected internationally in mink farms in the Netherlands, more recently in Spain and Denmark. The affected farms also experienced higher mink mortalities. The Utah Department of Agriculture and Food, along with collaborative agencies, has gleaned information from the reports and research that were conducted there. In an effort to stop the spread of SARS-CoV-2, the affected mink farms have been quarantined. Utah is one of the top breeders of mink in the United States, and the Department of Agriculture and Food, we are committed to addressing this issue boldly for the safety and future of mink farming in the state. The Office of the State Veterinarian will continue to provide updates as they become available. At this time, if there are any questions, we'll answer those.
Hi, Lindsay Whitehurst with Associated Press. Thanks for taking the question. I was curious if we had any ideas on how the virus may have gotten into the farm and infected the minks. Do we think workers who were infected possibly brought it in, or?
At this point in time, we're still in the research stages of this. We've got a group of experts with the CDC, the USDA, and the State Vet's Office that are looking into that, but we don't have any conclusive answer on that yet.
Hi, this is Greg Sima from the Journal of the American Veterinary Medical Association. Basically, you mentioned that you saw unusually high mortality rates, but I didn't hear what those rates were or how they compare with the normal expected rates.
So there was a substantial increase in the death rates. I don't have a percentage on what that rate was, but enough to raise concern and have several animals sent up to the diagnostic lab.
Yes, this is Carter Williams with KSL.com. I'm curious, you mentioned that there really isn't any indications of many levels of like transmitting the virus from animals to humans. Have there been any documented cases of that, and what are the possible concerns there?
So far, there's been no documented cases of that within the United States. They're still researching that. Cindy, do you want to address that further? Or? Good. So currently, we don't have any confirmed cases where that has happened, but obviously that's a center of research.
Thanks again. I appreciate it. I noticed that in the European outbreaks in the Netherlands in particular, I believe that a lot of mink were slaughtered, about 1 million. Do you know, is that a step that's going to be taken in Utah, or is the quarantine more what we're going to do about it at this point?
So our approach right now is going to be a quarantine. We don't have any plans at this time to depopulate any of these mink farms. We don't feel like we have enough information to make that decision at this point.
Hello, Dan Rasco with KSL TV. How concerned should mink farmers be about this? I mean, is this a real concerning issue? Is it something that they're going to have to change the way they do things or raise their animals or anything like that?
So we've been in contact with the industry, and we're working with them to put together best practices so that they can avoid this. We do know that this is one of the more susceptible species, so I would assume that they are taking this seriously and will put in place the things that they need to at their farms.
As a follow-up there, if you don't mind, is there any concern for the animals dying or anything like that, or problems with the animals themselves? Any symptoms?
So these animals, the majority of these animals, acute loss was really the presenting complaint. They have some symptoms for a couple days, but certainly with an increase loss of animals, that's one of the things that we face.
Yeah, John Franke with Fox 13. Just wanted to ask if anybody could give us an update as to where these cases may have originated or what farms are involved. Can you guys give that information?
So currently we're not releasing that information out to the public.
At least a county or anything along those lines?
Yeah, currently we're just releasing the information we have. We're not providing anything with regards to location.
Hi, I missed any description of the size of these farms. Can you provide the total population?
So I don't have the total, these are some of the larger farms in the state, but as far as the total numbers of mink on those farms or the percentage that they've lost, I don't have that information yet. This is pretty new.
Hi, Dina Marin from National Geographic. Thanks. Two-part question. Are there any preemptive plans right now to test for the virus on other farms in your state? And is there any indication that feral cats were involved in spreading the virus between the two?
So these are things that we're looking at. There will obviously be some testing done on these farms that have had the positive cases, but we haven't got any information with regards to feral cats yet, and we haven't done any testing outside of these farms.
Yes, and summing things up here, how big of a deal is this? Some of the farmers that we've talked to have said, you know, they're not concerned. This is not a big issue. Are you concerned? Is this a big deal for us to be worried about?
Oh, I think it has to have our attention, certainly has to draw our attention. I don't believe it's cause for all the rest to change programs that they've already put in place. Most of these farms have got good biosecurity, and I don't think they need to worry unduly, but obviously all of us need to take it seriously.
Yes, I think you said there were 2 confirmed cases, but a high mortality rate. So is the reason to believe that this is a larger outbreak than just those 2 cases that you guys confirmed?
Yeah, so I probably misspoke. There are two locations and 5 cases that have been tested so far. There's potential for more, but we have not gotten testing back on any but these 5 animals.
Sorry about that. Hi, one more quick one. In terms of protective measures, do we know what was taken in the past and what might be taken now? Protection for both employees, like PPE and things like that, and if there are any ways that the mink might be, protected from possibly being infected in the future.
So I can't speak to what's been done in the past, but I can address what we're currently doing. So from the state vet's office, we're going to go down and help to instruct on good biosecurity measures that be taken down there, provide assistance where needed down there. And the veterinarian who dealt with this is also helping them along those lines. So I don't know prior to this outbreak what the situation was.
One more.
Hi, yeah, this is Karen Brouillard of the Washington Post. I'm wondering if, I think you've mentioned that there's further research being done. Is there any genetic analysis being done on the virus that was detected both in the people at the farms who are infected and the mink to try to determine sort of directionality of the infection?
So those tests are being run, but we don't have any results back on that at this point. Good.
We thank you all for tuning in, and we thank Dr. Dean Taylor for being here to provide this update. If you have any questions in the future, the Utah Department of Agriculture and Food will continue to provide updates via our website. Thank you.